Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana is really suffering right now and approaching the next support level here at $131. And we are now really at a point where Solana should really turn around. I mean, it reacted to the resistance area I communicated here between $154 and $158. This level would have needed to break to the upside to basically give us a first indication that a low is in this wave 4 correction. I'm tracking here an ABC structure in a wave 4, and one more high in wave 5 is still preferred. However, I cannot rule out that a top is already made. If we get a sustained break below $131, that will get increasingly likely. Already now, we haven't got any indication that a low has formed, and I can now adjust the resistance area basically accordingly, or actually I don't need to adjust it, because if we now get a break above the, well, today's high here at around $154, it would be a first indication that a low has formed. The situation is that we are quite deep now in this wave 4 pullback zone in this support area. This is based on the idea that we're dealing with a diagonal pattern here. The idea is that on the 23rd of January, a wave 4 bottomed of a larger degree. We're basically now in this wave 5. That's the idea here, yeah. And the wave 5 should be a 5-wave pattern. Wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside, wave 3 to the upside. The wave 4 has grown a little bit larger than it would be ideal, but we are still holding support. So quick educational lesson. A wave 4 in a diagonal pattern can be deep. You sometimes get even an overlap with wave 1. Now, I wouldn't call that anymore a wave 4 then. Typically, in an impulse, we don't want a wave 4 to break below the 50% retracement. Well, that was $143.46, but it's not an impulse. It is at best a diagonal pattern. As I always say, we can't trust diagonal patterns. We need to be on the side of caution. If this is indeed a wave 4 pullback, then even in a diagonal, we wouldn't normally want it to break and sustain below $131, which is in this case, well, we don't want it to sustain below the 61.8 retracement, which is in this case the $131 level. Technically speaking, you can allow for a wave 4 that's very deep, also in a diagonal, and we just need to wait basically for the first 5-wave move to the upside to unfold in order to give us an idea that wave 5 of 5 has started. At the moment, we are in support and we have to look for lower prices until a first break of resistance occurs. Yeah? And if that means the support level breaks, then we have to adjust the overall assumption on the chart. But the move down is quite aggressive. And we are obviously in a local downtrend now. And as I said, it takes a break above resistance to give us some evidence that something more bullish is unfolding and that the wave 5 has started. Now, what happens below $131? Well, it does not invalidate the idea of one more high, but it will make it much more challenging for this scenario to play out. Technical invalidation for this scenario is actually a break below the wave 2 low. That's at $98.50. But we don't normally want to wait until the price breaks below a wave 2 low. So we typically use the golden ratio level. So I'm still looking for a potential reversal in this region. And it should do it somewhere between now and $131. At least it should avoid a sustained break below that level. Now, if Solana cannot recover, what happens then? First of all, before we go to the larger time frame, and I will explain that to you, let's just double check again which levels now need to break to the upside for us to say that possibly a low has formed. It is the intraday high at $154. Actually, it's $155. And if we then get a break above that wave 4 high at $176, that would be an indication or good confirmation that a low has formed. This can happen very quickly in crypto, but at the moment there is zero evidence that this is the case. Now, if we break below $131, we have to activate our alternative scenario, and that could be that very substantial pullback actually that I've had on the chart for a while on the larger time frame. A lot of people, let's say, told me they don't believe this could ever happen again. That's always a warning. And it is basically this larger support area, which we talked about in our long-term videos already. So the idea is that if we get a break below the $131 level, then I have to assume that this larger degree third wave already topped and that we are in the larger degree fourth wave with support between $110.36, that's the first level that's relevant, and actually $52.50. Now, it doesn't mean it has to come down to $52.50, but in this case, the technical ideal target for a fourth wave is the 38.2 retracement at $73.20. And we will be able to calculate a target for that much more precisely once we have the first, let's say, detailed wave count available here. Now, in this scenario, the way this would most likely unfold is that, and I will highlight that in a different color on the chart, that this initial ABC structure down is likely going to be the larger A wave. Then we get a larger B wave corrective rally and the C wave down, and can take us into that target area that I just mentioned. And yeah, let's highlight that maybe in red. And this would be the, let's say, bearish scenario. ABC, okay, and then we would say this is a larger wave degree, so something like that. Okay, so this would be the bearish count. ABC in wave A doesn't mean it has to go down in a straight line though. I mean, we're pretty much oversold. Not sure if Solana is actually oversold on the daily, but there are some coins which are already oversold on the daily time frame. Not quite, but obviously last time we were sold off that much. Well, that was in August 2023. So being oversold on the daily, I mean, it is typically an opportunity. And even if it is only a corrective rally, typically we see some kind of a rally. I mean, it's now in support. Ideally, we're seeing a reaction here. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. For now, there's no sufficient reaction yet. And just be aware about the parameters. Know your parameters. And yeah, we're quite deep in support. But so far, as I said, no break of resistance yet. But we have enough waves to the downside to count this ABC structure to the downside complete. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.